Good morning, Pioneers. Welcome back. We're on the fourth day of week 4 on our distance learning, and I think we're settling in quite well to the routine, and I look forward to continuing on with you guys. So let's get started. Yesterday we had several fun activities. I hope you guys watched the YouTube videos of our small groups. Lots of fun things, including our life cycle of a chicken activity, and hopefully you guys worked on yours and I can see them in our Zoom meeting later. So today we're going to work on a couple of things in our small groups. We're going to do a roll count in color. I know you guys really like these activities, so I do too, so I thought we would do that. We're also going to compare pigs and cows and see what pigs have, what cows have, and maybe things that they have in common. You guys will find this sheet in your take-home packets or on our tadpoles report. You can print right there. It's labeled online resources, okay? And you'll cut these out, and then we're going to glue them into which category they go on, okay? I hope you guys have fun with this activity. I'll meet you at small groups with it, okay? And then one more thing we're going to work on is phonetic spelling of farm words. And that just means like this is a sheep, and you're going to sound it out, sheep, and spell it just like you hear the words, okay? So each letter that you hear, you're going to write it down, all right? Cannot wait to see these, okay? So those are the things we're going to be doing in small group. And in our Zoom meeting later, we will be building letters. First, we're going to sort all of our letters into two groups. One group of letters that you build letters making lines like Z. Those are just lines. And then B, where it does have a straight line, but it also has two curved lines. So we're going to sort these into two groups. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use the popsicle sticks that you guys received in your take-home packets to build these letters on our barn. So we will put the letter here, and then we'll build our letters inside our barn door, okay? This activity is going to be so much fun, and I cannot wait to do it with you guys later in our Zoom meetings to see what you guys come up with. All right, so let me put all of my things back so we can get started with our morning routine. When we go to do our morning routine, let me share our screen so you guys can see what's going on. All right, there we are again. All right, so good morning. And the first thing we're going to do is see what day is today. So here is what our calendar looks like. Here are all of our days of the week. All right, so let's move to the next one. So yesterday was Wednesday. You see that right here, Wednesday, the 8th. And on our next screen, it is Thursday. So we put Wednesday back and we put Thursday here. Now, not the 8th anymore, it is the 9th. And so we move the star to the 9th, okay? So today is Thursday, April 9th, 2020. Let's sing our days of the week, and then we will count the days in our month so far. Ready? Go. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days in a week. Great job. All right, so let's count our days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Awesome job, guys. All right, so we're gonna go on into the weather. What's the weather like at your house today? So here's where we're gonna take a break, and I want you to go take a peek outside, whether that's looking out of your window or your front door, or maybe you can actually go outside for a minute. I'll meet you back right here. I'm going to count to 30 by 2s today. All right, ready, set, go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. All right, welcome back, guys. So what is the weather like at your house? Is it sunny or windy? Maybe it's partly cloudy. Here at school, outside it is sunny, and it's still kind of warm outside. So it did, though. Early this morning, I woke up with thunderstorms. So it rained a lot and it thundered, but all that's gone now. So we'll see what the weather holds for us throughout the day. It is my favorite time. It is story time. Today I have a super fun book called Duck on a Tractor. You can find ducks on a farm. All right, so let's break out our KWL charts. So you can write one at home. You can follow along with mine, and yours may look different, and that is okay. All right, so things that I know there's a duck sitting on the tractor because I can see the duck. And he looks really happy. I don't know if you can see him, but it looks like he's smiling. So our author is David Shannon. All right. And let's see. Does he illustrate the books as well? Let's see. It's not on the front cover. Maybe he does. I think that David Shannon, yeah, so he wrote the book and he illustrated all the pictures. That means he drew the pictures. Awesome. All right, so let's go on to our wants. So some of the things I want to know. I want to know how the duck got on the tractor. Did he fly? Did he climb? Did he walk? Did someone help him up? And I want to know, how does the duck drive the tractor? How does he know that? And I want to know, where does the duck go on the tractor? Does he have somewhere in mind that he wants to go? All right, so we're going to move into reading our story. I'm going to stop sharing the screen for just a second while we read. All right, so that way it's bigger for you guys. Duck on a Tractor by David Shannon. Down on the farm, Duck sometimes got wild ideas. One day he decided he could ride a bike, so he did. Then he spotted the tractor. I bet I can drive a tractor, he said. The other animals weren't so sure. They all said, well, if he can ride a bike, then maybe he can drive a tractor too. Duck climbed on the tractor and looked around. He pushed some pedals and wiggled a metal stick, but nothing happened. Then a shiny little piece of metal by the steering wheel caught his eye. He pulled it out and pushed it in. Then he turned it. And all of a sudden, the tractor shook and coughed and rumbled. It began to move. And at first, it moved slowly and it jerked a lot, but it was fun. Duck drove around the barnyard until he got the hang of it. Then he stopped in front of the other animals. Climb on, everybody, shouted Duck. Dog was first. He jumped right up next to Duck. Woof, said Dog, but what he thought was, we're going for a ride. To everyone's surprise, Cow clambered on next. Moo, said Cow, but what she thought was, this is the silliest thing I've ever done. Pig and Pig took a seat in back, said Pig and Pig, but what they thought was, this sure beats walking. Then came Chicken, Mouse, and Goat. Squawk, said Chicken, but what she thought was, last one on is a rotten egg. Squeak, squeak, said Mouse, but what she thought was, I can see everything from up here. Ma, said Goat, but what he thought was, I'm hungry. Does the garbage dump have a drive-through window? What a silly goat. Next up were Horse and Cat. Cat jumped gracefully onto the tractor. Horse, not so much. Meow, said the cat, but what she thought was, I was going to take a nap, but this should be very interesting. Nay, said Horse, but what he thought was, I think I'd rather walk. Look at his face. He doesn't seem so sure. Maybe a little scared. The only one left on the ground was Sheep. Bah, said Sheep, but what she thought was, this is too dangerous. Get on, Sheep, everyone shouted, but Sheep wouldn't budge. So Duck started driving away without her. Wait, cried Sheep, don't leave me here all alone. So she ran after the tractor and took a flying leap onto it. Quack, quack, yelled Duck. But what he thought was, woohoo! Duck steered the tractor down the lane and onto the muddy main road. And before long, they were driving right through the middle of town. It was lunchtime, so most people were in the diner. They all looked up when Duck and the other animals passed by the big window. A little boy named Edison was having lunch with his grandma. Did you ever, Grandma gasped, but what she thought was, a duck on a tractor? That's impossible. And totally awesome, Edison shouted, but what he thought was, no one's gonna believe this. Marcine, the waitress, looked up from her pad and noticed Cat. Heavens to Betsy, she exclaimed, but what she thought was, I like cats. Deputy Bob blabbered, if that don't beat all. But what he thought was, how am I going to explain this to the sheriff? A man named Otis chimed in. I must be seeing things. But what he thought was, oh no, not again. Holy cow, hollered Manny the cook. But what he thought was, holy cow. Manny usually said exactly what he thought. The mayor almost choked on his pie. Good gravy, he sputtered. But what he thought was, those pigs are even fatter than I am. Porky just whistled, but what he thought was, that duck is smarter than he looks. Gwen came out of the restroom. Would you look at that? But what she thought was, I can't see a thing without my glasses. Farmer O'Dell observed, that's a dang nice tractor. But what he thought was, hey, that's my tractor. He decided he'd better go after it, and he ran out the door. Everyone else ran after too, and they chased him. By this time, Duck had turned onto the next street. The tractor shuddered to a stop. Duck tried turning the shiny little piece of metal again, but nothing happened. I don't know much about spelling, said Dog, but I think that E means it's the end of our ride. She cleared her throat. You know, she said, I think we might get in trouble for this. Let's get out of here, yelled Duck, just as Farmer O'Dell and everyone from the diner came around the corner. Huh. They looked puzzled. Everyone burst out laughing. Nah, they all said, it couldn't have been. It was an optical illusion, exclaimed Otis. Farmer O'Dell said he must have left his tractor running by accident. I guess that explains it, Deputy Bob agreed. Then they all went back to the diner to finish their lunch. And no one ever admitted that on that day they had seen a cow, a goat, a cat, a dog, a sheep, a chicken, a horse, 2 pigs, and a mouse, and a duck on a tractor. The end. All right. I loved Duck on a Bike, but I really like Duck on a Tractor. That's super cute. All right, I'm going to share my screen again so we can finish our KWL chart. All right, so some of my wants, I wanted to know how the duck got onto the tractor, and I learned while reading the book that he climbed. He simply just climbed up on the tractor. Also wanted to know, does he drive the tractor? And boy, does he. He did. I learned that he encouraged all of the other animals to get on and also go for a ride. I also wanted to know where the duck goes on the tractor. And I learned in the story that the duck drove into town while everybody was eating dinner or eating lunch at the diner. They all thought they saw him, but when they went out to check, all the animals were gone. So did they see them? Or was it an optical illusion? I don't know. What do you think? So on the next slide, there are some videos, more books for you guys to check out. I hope you guys enjoy them, and I cannot wait for you to join me in small groups, okay? Have a great day. Thank you again for your continued support, and I'll see you later. Love you guys. Miss you. Bye.